I don't mind if I do. It's Whiskey Wednesday. Booyah people. Booyah. All right. Oh, yeah. All right. Got people joining in already. Hell yeah, says Daniel Georgiev. How's it going, buddy? What time is it there? It's astronomically late or early, depending on your perspective, right? I can never remember the time difference. I know it's extreme, though. $3 a.m. Oh my gosh. I napped an hour. Aw, thank you for the heart. Now for an hour, my soul is broken, but my spirit carries on. Well, good. You're in the proper mood for Shadow Saviour. And you would know it best. Well, I appreciate you being here, buddy. You're crazy. You're crazy. You know. I will have this up on the tubes of you after this is all said and done. So if you crash, you can't make it through, it's okay. It'll be up for you later. No worries. No worries. I'm here for you. That is insane. 3 a.m. 3 a.m. That is insane. But we're going to have a good story today. I have only, admittedly, what is it? I'm happy to actually finally make it. Yep. It's a little tough for you to make it to these. It's okay. You have a pass. Okay? It's okay. It's okay. We forgive you. It's going to be okay. But no, admittedly, I have only read the first 2 chapters of this story. And with like every Daniel Georgiev novel, damn it, I want to read the rest. It is such a good hook in that now I have to read the rest. I have so much to read, though. It's not good to add yet another book to the pile of to be read, because that list never grows shorter, it seems like, for me. There's always way too many books to read. You know what I mean? Do you have that problem? I'm sure you do. Hello, good sir. Happy Wednesday. Well, hello, good ma'am, I think. The picture is very small. I hope I got that right. Shelf love. Happy Whiskey Wednesday to you too. I don't. You don't? You don't have that problem? You just read so fast. You don't have any kind of backlog of books you need to. I envy you. I envy you. There's so many. There's even like classics that I've never gotten a chance to read that, they're on that list. And they keep getting pushed back by all this like new stuff, Thank you for the share, whoever shared there. I heard the sound, but I didn't catch who shared it. Thank you, whoever that was. I'm picky as hell, so I don't have a huge DVR. I mean, that's one way to do it. I mean, just be incredibly picky. Right? If they use the word "the" more than 4 times in the opening paragraph, not on my TBR, dude. There you go. Kim, you are here. Hello. Reposted from Kim. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, thank you for the share there, Daniel Georgiev. I appreciate you. Thanks for the shares. Letting people pile in. We're going to get started, though, with some part of the name. Thank you for the reshare. You're a sharing machine. Whoa! I love that sound effect. I think we're going to return as it keeps going. I might have to set a limit. Daniel, might have to set a limit. I'm going to return to where we left off, I think, on the one before last, I think, of the whiskeys. I know, wow, right? Going back to the Kilchoman, I could be wrong. Whiskey Flight, I'm probably saying that wrong. Kilchoman? I'm pretty sure it's not said like that. But we finished with the last one with their Sanic. And their Sanic was pretty good. It was very peaty, very smoky. So we're going to try the second one in their series of 3 called Machir Bay. And we'll see how that goes. It has some tasting notes, but we're just going to like taste it. Okay, so I learned a couple things. So if you're a fan of whiskey or scotch or trying new things and learning new things, here you go. Here's something for you. So apparently there's 3 different things you can do when you're tasting, at least, I guess, scotches and whiskeys. There's an initial, whoa! Thank you for the share. You sharing machine, you. There's 3 things that you can do when you're tasting. It's the first initial smell, the first taste, and then the aftertaste. What do you get? So, in a Glencairn glass is the way that you're supposed to do scotch. It's all fancy. I felt like being fancy. Whatever. I know, wow, right? So let's smell it. Oh, it smells like smoke and peat. I think it's going to be a repeat of what we did. Did you catch it? On the first one, so there's only one thing left to do is to try it. I've never reread a book. What? That's pretty nice. I will say the first one was very, like, there's a certain like scotchy kind of flavor, like this aftertaste that it has. And that one doesn't have it. It's very smoky. It has a lot of peat, and that's very forward. And then it gets kind of sweet and smooths out toward the end. So that one's nice. I think I like that one better than the first one that we had. So that was, the first one they had was the Sanig, and then this one is the Machir Bay. And it's I guess the difference is between this one and the next one is actually cask strength, which I think you're supposed to dilute. I could be wrong. Anyways, what they say in terms of what you're supposed to taste, I don't know if I'm picking any of that up, but you know they always have that like stuff on like wines and everything, right? Where like, oh, you taste berries in a field, and I don't taste any of that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see if I can get this out of there. I messed up and I put this back in here the wrong way. Now I can't get it out of there. What they say. But I'm afraid I won't have the OMG feeling of the first time that you read something. That's interesting. So you want to preserve that initial feeling that you had the first time you read it in your mind and associate that with the book instead of kind of tainting that image in your head about what it was like when you read it by reading it again. I totally get that. I will say there are certain books that I love rereading, and it depends on the reason, right? So I've talked about this before, but in terms of books that I've reread, the Tripod series by John Christopher, I had that read to me actually in 4th grade, and by my 4th grade teacher. She read it to all of us out loud. Her name was Ruth Ann Wheeler. That's how much of an impact that lady had on me. And I fell in love with sci-fi and couldn't get enough of it after reading the Tripod series that she read out to us, actually. I read it myself, and then I read it again to my son when he was old enough. And the experience of reading that story, of a story that I really love, to my son and watching him experience it for the first time was just worth it. And I think in that way, that's probably the way that I've reread most of the things that I've reread is reading stuff to him. But for funsies, sometimes I'll pick up a book that I'm like, man, that was so long ago that I read that, I don't even remember it. So I reread it, and it's like a new experience again, you know? You always need to read more than once. Yeah. Certain books I don't want to read again. They were good enough the first time. I don't want to read them again. So, and the follows are going crazy. Thank you so much for the follows, Angel. Book Talk, thank you. Oh man, there was a repost by their. Oh, I know who that is. I can't say your name though. Ileana. Yeah, Ileana. Thank you for the repost. I know you. Yeah, but I totally understand that like feeling, you know, of the first time that you read it, and not wanting that to take kind of the image of it. I totally get that. Of course, so excited to hear it. Yes. It's going to be good. So what are we reading tonight? Yeah, we got into the whiskey. That's a small part of it. It's really an excuse at this point for me to try new stuff. But the real fun, the real reason we're here is to hear a story by one of our indie authors here in the community, Daniel Georgiev, who's in the chat here. So as we're reading this, if you have any questions for him, hit him up, right? If you don't like something that's in there, let him know. He loves it. I don't know if he loves that, but just hit him up with it anyways, because I love putting him on the spot. Yep. Oh yeah, the Sun Catchers. Yeah, I did a little blurby blurb for that one. And then Matt's Magica 1 and soon to be Matt's Magica 2 will come out as well. I also narrated those, and those are Daniel Georgiev books. And those were a lot of fun to do. And now we're going to read this one. It is Shadow Saviour. So if somebody wants to do me the favor, and in the chat you want to type in !book and !author on separate lines, it'll tell you a little bit about the book that we're about to read and a little bit about the author that's here while he's going crazy with ice cream cones. It'll give you a little thing in the chat there. It should. If it doesn't, let me know, and I'll just read it out for you. But that's what it's about. Basically, dystopian fantasy novel. And we're going to dive into it right now. We're going to go through and read through the first chapter. So here we go. Let's take a drink of our water, actually. Believe it or not, whiskey's not great for narration. It's probably like the worst thing you can drink. Did that work in chat? Did it actually give you the description of the book? I'm set. Let's get it. All right. I'm getting it. Just making sure it actually gave you guys the description. I don't know why it blocked that, Daniel. Let me approve that. TikTok filters weird comments out sometimes. I don't know why I didn't even filter that, but there you go. You don't have a chance. Right. I think that was the opener. Yeah. For sure. All right, here we go. And as always, we're going to record it just like an audiobook. So we're going to take out all the mistakes as I make them. Here we go. First chapter. My purpose. I have no name. I have no past. Only a goal I cannot escape. Every slumber, every blink, it reminds me of the sole purpose I was given in this world. Save Charlotte. The world awakens with me, yet shakes as my core weakens. The air, once vibrant with magicules, now is but a whisper of what it used to be, or so I feel. With an impending pull, the weight of the earth presses down, pulling us ever closer to the world below the clouds. My breath rends my throat as the castle, once a sanctuary in the sky, now trembles with the people's fear. But these don't matter. For Charlotte's in danger. I must save Charlotte. The shadows danced in the corridors, my steps echoing in the silence. A distorted voice etched from the corner of my mind, a reminder of my task. Servants glanced at me, their faces a mixture of hope and despair. They know whom I sought, stepping aside with a courtesy bow. Spare. They know whom I sought. Spare. They know whom I sought, stepping aside with a courtesy bow. Without hesitation, I pushed the door to Charlotte's chambers. Darkness filled the room, the sole light being a flickering spell before her face as she traced pages with a finger. Charlotte, I spoke, my voice soft as a whisper. Shadow, you are here, she said, her expression a mixture of relief and worry. I was afraid. Don't be. I will always be here. I approached her, the thinned out magicules gracefully brightening her blonde hair and azure eyes. And I will always protect you. But who will protect you? The question hung in the air, my core's light diminishing with each breath. Let us go to my father. He called an audience for the two of us. Charlotte said and closed her book. With a nod, I agreed to her will. The importance of her father. The nod to her will. The importance of her father lacking in my memory. Yet each time I awoke, everything had faded further into oblivion. None of that mattered, for I knew my real purpose. Glowing in the dark halls, knights in magic armor stood guard at the entrance of the audience chamber. Charlotte confidently requested entrance in her regal name, and with a barely perceptible nod, the gates obediently swung open. Her eyes glowed with determination, giving off an aura that could be easily mistaken for power, a trait much befitting a princess. The ceiling stretched high above, casting long shadows in the flickering light of the once lit magic chamber. At the far end, the throne loomed, its presence casting a formidable shadow that swallowed anyone who dare enter. Its presence casting a formidable shadow that swallowed anyone who dared to enter. Charlotte's father was a man whose presence commanded respect, despite the weight of the island crashing down on his shoulders. Deep wrinkles etched the ruler's face, a testament to a lifetime of worry and hardship, but also a reflection of the wisdom and knowledge he had gained. A testament to a lifetime of worry and hardship, but also a reflection of the wisdom and knowledge he had gained. As we approached, his bright eyes were hidden beneath a cascade of unruly hair. "Father," Charlotte spoke first, her gentle timbre reverberating, "we have come, as you asked." The man didn't blink. His lack of reaction or movement made it seem like time stood still, every second stretching out to infinity. "What is it that you wanted to discuss?" Charlotte pushed further. He rose from his throne and descended toward us, his footsteps echoing with authority. As he stood before me, his height barely reaching my shoulder, his gaze scrutinized my every move. "Shadow," the king began, taking a deep breath before continuing. "You have served the royal family since time eternal, yet the world we knew is fading, and with that, so are the old ways." With my head lowered, I listened intently as fragments of hazy memories danced in the recesses of my mind. "Paradise Island descends," he spoke, his tone growing darker, "and soon enough, we will be at the mercy of the modern ones. Nero Vesper, the overlord, has sent a messenger with an offer for peace." The king trailed off, his gaze meeting the ground. Then it moved to his daughter. "No, Father, I'm not going to marry—" Charlotte squeaked, her eyes flushing pink. Her cheeks flushing pink. "I wish that was the case, Charlotte," the king said twice, his tone tired and deep. Just the mention of Nero Vesper's name sent shivers down my spine. It was clear, without a doubt, that the peace treaty would lack compassion. "But, Father, you know that Nero Vesper can't be trusted. All his gifts and praises have been a laughingstock." "That laughingstock is what lets him," the king pointed at me as he yelled, "be here." A surge of impulse compelled me to stand before Charlotte, my hands poised to intercept her father if needed. Charlotte's fists shook as she bit her lip. "We are almost out of magicules. During the last month, he has increased the quantity of packages he sends us, perhaps as a sign of good intention," the king said, walking out of the audience chamber. "Come." We followed him silently through the corridors. "Charlotte," I whispered, "what package does your father refer to?" "Oh, Shadow, you don't remember?" she asked, tears swelling up in her eyes, taking a frown out of me. "I suppose your memory has declined even further. Forgive me. The packages are refurbished magicools the modern ones have made." "Cules." Forgive me. The packages are the refurbished magicules the modern ones have made." I nodded in understanding and walked on in silence. The north wall of the castle stretched along, drawing a stark contrast between two worlds. Next to the edge of the wall, the king stepped and peered down, intrigued by the lights below. Charlotte followed, and next to her so did I. The stars filled the sky above with flickering lights, yet as the island gently passed through a cloud, I could see a similar light-filled sight below. "The modern ones," Charlotte whispered. "We are falling right into their hands. Nero's messenger proposed an option for a controlled descent so we may not crash into their cities." The king spoke, and then, with a gritty voice, he said, "And that's exactly what they deserve. An Armageddon of justice." Frustration flushed over me, and a match of anger went ablaze in my heart. I couldn't allow this to happen, for then Charlotte would die from the crash. I had to protect her at all costs. But that is impossible. We are but remnants of a dying world, and we have no choice but to accept that. The king opened his palm, sparkling magic resource, magicules, faintly extinguishing within his palm. "Shadow, I ask you this not as a king, but as a father." My eyes locked with his. "Promise me you will protect Charlotte no matter what, even if the entire kingdom would fall apart." The wise eyes burned desperately. With the weight of the world crashing, he solely hoped to keep his daughter safe. As I blinked, I had the answer right before me. "I will save Charlotte. I promise." And that was chapter 1. The first chapter, it's so sad. But I think a good introduction into the story. It pulls me in already. You know what I mean? And there, we're done. We're going. We're done. We're out. That's it. That's all of Whiskey Wednesday. Just kidding. I'm going to read another chapter. One more, though. Only one more. I think it was a good pull-in. We need one more. We need one more, right? Or should I cut it? I'll let you guys decide. What do you guys want? Woohoo, yeah. All right. I think Daniel's voting for one more. One more. All right, cool. We'll do one more. We'll do one more. Boom, 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 boom. All right. I was trying to catch up with chat, but it keeps scrolling. If I missed anything, just let me know. I feel like I was at the beginning of a great video game. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, kind of. I could see this as a video game for sure. That'd be kind of fun. There you go. There's your next goal there, Daniel. Turn this into a video game so we can all play it. Let us know when it's done, okay? Slam some hype. Thanks for the ice cream cones, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, let's get into the second chapter, though. Where we left off. And then I'll just start a new track on here. So when I'm done with this one and I go through and proof it, I will send you both, Mr. Daniel Georgiev. Let me set up another, and I'll just set up another track for this so we can keep it in the same file. Boop, 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 boop. There we go. All right, unrecord on that one. Or de-arm the track, I guess. Thank you for the follow there. Books by Megan Russ. Appreciate you. Okay, let's get into our second chapter. Okay, and here we go. Again, if you want to know a little bit about the book, good evening, and very excited to hear Daniel's work. It is great. We just finished the first chapter, but I'll have the replay up on the tubes of you if you want to see it later to get a recap of the first chapter. But we're gonna go into the second one now. And if you type in !book, it'll tell you a little bit about the book that we're reading. And !author will tell you a little bit about the author, Mr. Daniel Georgiev, that we have here in chat. So if you have any questions, ask away. He's here. All right, here we go. Second chapter. Continuous summon. Save Charlotte. A voice filled with charisma reverberated in my thoughts. As I scouted my surroundings, I found myself in the presence of Charlotte. Her distrustful gaze struck a coloration of fear and suspicion. "Shadow, are you okay?" she asked, her palm reaching for my chest. I caught hers in mine and studied her expression for answers. Was Charlotte always suspicious of me? Yet what was she like anyway? What did my memory tell me? Memories were just blurred images I couldn't make sense of. "Why do you ask? Are you okay? I have to keep you safe." "I am okay, Shadow, but I'm more worried about you.
After we started summoning you with the refurbished packages, your body seems to be different.
Is that so? How?
Your shadows, they are... Never mind, she said, and turned to her book. I need to learn more. I have no time. I looked at my hands and noticed shadows emanating from me, dancing like small fires of darkness. Was that not how I always was? With a headshake, I dismissed these thoughts and put my hand on Charlotte's shoulder. The change you see shouldn't scare you. What matters is that my purpose remains unchanged. I will save you, Charlotte, at all costs. Between the walls of her bedroom, I stood and observed. The magic light burned in a flame's color and illuminated her pale skin. She tirelessly flipped through page after page, the determination to uncover the secrets she yearned for consuming her. Only once every dozen pages did she flip a flock of hair behind her ear. My protective instincts locked my eyes on her at all times, absorbing every movement and expression, while my mind swirled with unspoken inquiries. Who am I? What do I look like? Why must I save her? And from what? Charlotte, I spoke, breaking the silence. Forgive me. Could I ask you a question? Shadow, you already asked one, she said, chuckling. I lowered my head, staring at the floor. My eyelids fluttered, and with each blink, the image of my goal flashed briefly. Hey, I was joking. What is it? You said you summoned me through these packages, and you noticed changes. Can I ask you, how many times have I been summoned now? Ever since we didn't have enough magicules to summon you by ourselves, so a little over a month? Thank you, I said, and walked over to her. I took a glimpse at the book she was reading, a thick stack of pages and a second smaller book in which Charlotte wrote in herself. Shadow, it's the first time you've shown interest in what I do. Charlotte's voice resounded in surprise. Forgive me, I said, and stepped back, considering I overstepped my boundaries. No, I didn't mean it like that. You can come over, Charlotte said with a charming smile. I nodded, and instead retreated to the corner of the room. She seems really passionate about this book, but why does she need to translate it? Forgive me. I will allow myself to ask you another question. Her pure azure eyes lit upon me and acknowledged my request with a smile of beaming kindness. What are you researching? It's the ancient language. Our ancestors learned magic and engraved that knowledge into these texts. Charlotte said, and her face turned grim. It's important that I pick up my ancestors' secrets. But the magicules, you can't do magic without them, so what is the point? What point is there to seek knowledge of magic? In the first place, why are they all used up? I asked, looking at my hands, focusing on my core's supposed full capacity. I have hardly 1/10 of the magicules within. Pragmatic as always, Charlotte said. She gazed at me in silence, the light reflecting in her eyes as she sought the proper words. The modern ones? The magicules' power, their technologies. A little quicker. The modern ones? The magicules power their technologies. After a brief lecture, I stepped out onto the balcony. The wind blew gently against my skin. It was a pleasant feeling, even if I had just learned the reason for the constant breeze was the descent of the island into an inevitable fate, either oblivion or captivity. Yet, with this knowledge, I wonder, how many times had Charlotte told me this, and Why does she need to translate the ancient texts? I can read them like I'm a native. Does that mean I am a time traveler? Did I come from the past? She calls me Shadow. Is that my name? Shadow? Who? They summon me from where? And my core, I sense, is made of magic, but I look as human as them. Then, what am I? A voice rang throughout my head. Shadow, Saviour, save Charlotte. I closed my eyes, a cascade of vibrant lights overwhelming my senses. I focused. I tried to remember at least one of them and figure out more. Shadow? Charlotte said, vaporizing all chances of recalling these visions. Take this. Her small body brought a black box, its content calling out to me. Father said I should feed you with magicules so you don't fade. It's the first time I'll try to maintain your summon for a longer time. So, forgive me if I'm not a worthy summoner yet. With the absence of magicules, how could she have been worthy? With the absence of magicules, how could she have been a worthy summoner? My being seemed to be tied to the magic in the air, and with ease I recognized the lack of resource. Yet, I need to know more. Something is limiting what I speak, but I need to know who I am. Thank you, I said, as Charlotte opened the box and took out a small sphere with blue and red smokes swirling within. She frowned, concentrating on the enigmatic entity in her palms. With a flash of light, the sphere's contents disappeared, and a moment after, a second flash burst into me. Inhaling deeply, I could feel the invigorating energy seep into my body, causing a noticeable weightlessness. Did I grow stronger? You must save Charlotte. The modern ones are coming. Save Charlotte. Chaotic whispers echoed through my mind like a torrential downpour. Shadow! Charlotte's gentle fingers caught my cheeks, sending frosty shivers across my body. Are you okay? Her touch was a grounding force, pulling me back from the anarchic storm. You looked like you were in pain, she said softly, her hands caressing my face, smoothing my darkness. I'm all right, I reassured her, putting her hands in mine. The magicule infusion was strange. With curious eyes, she studied me for any hints of deceit. I could tell she didn't fully believe me, yet she decided not to press further. With a tired sigh, she gathered the empty box and brought it indoors. A few wavering steps later, she turned to face me. After a brief pause, she shook her head and went back to her studies. I just wish there was something more we could do. The magicules we have are so scarce. It feels like we're losing... It feels like we're fighting a losing battle, Charlotte murmured to herself. The weight of her words hung in the air as the island kept descending straight into the modern one city below. A riddle of unknown origin kept puzzling my head, yet something told me that the voices and images were all related to him. Nero Vesper, the overlord. Nero Vesper, the overlord of the modern ones. Charlotte, a man's voice came through the door after a few knocks. May I? My body acted on its own. Save Charlotte. I warped into the shadows and out of the man's very own. Moments before my palm crushed mercilessly into the fool's skull, I paused. Father, of course, come in, Charlotte said. Shadow, don't be a... Charlotte said. Shadow, don't be so on edge. It is good to know you are still capable, the man said with a smirk. It was correct to entrust my daughter to you. I let the man into the room and closed the door behind me. Charlotte, it's time, he said, and lowered his head. Nero will soon arrive. The audience will be held in his device. I want you and Shadow to be there. Device. I want you and Shadow to be there. And that is it. That is the end of chapter 2 as Daniel Georgiev's goes crazy. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate you. That's it. Where can they get this book, Mr. Daniel Georgiev's? I know they can probably go to your website. So if you type in !author, I think that gives you his website there. Hopefully that works. Going crazy. Well, Daniel, I know which one I need to read next. Yeah, for sure. I know I want to finish it. I've only actually read these 2 chapters. Oh, thank you, Nick. I've only read these 2 chapters, and now I want to read the rest. I was saying at the beginning, like, that's kind of the problem with reading Daniel Georgiev's books, is like you read the first couple chapters and you're like, oh, I don't want to put it down now. I've got other stuff to do, you know. So this is definitely one of those that I'm going to come back to and finish probably soon. But immediately hooked, right? Yeah. No, I think perfect opening chapters there, buddy. These were good opening chapters. Really got me like hooked in. And I already I like the world building as well. That's like a big like factor I look for in books too, is does the world kind of build on itself slowly enough that it gives me enough pieces at first that I care enough, but not too much, you know? There are some books that like I've read that can pull off the just boom, drop you into the world, give you all this stuff, and it works, but those are very few and far in between. Yeah, there we go. It blocked your website there, but let me unfilter that. It filtered a whole bunch. Why did it filter all these? That's so weird. There you go. His website's on there too, where you can pick up a copy of the book. Suncatchers is coming soon for me, and I'm hyped. Heck yeah! Yeah, those are the best there, Nick. I agree completely. Yeah, Suncatchers. I think we're going to have a special event here on the 31st, correct? Where we're going to be doing some cool stuff. I can't remember how much I can say about it, but it's going to be cool, and you guys should be there. And be like kind of like a release party, if you will, for Suncatchers. With a whole group of us. We're going to be doing some fun stuff related to the world of Suncatchers. So that'll be fun on the 31st. And it'll probably be on Daniel Georgiev's channel. I'm there. What time? Daniel, what time? I don't remember. I should. But I'm bad. I don't remember off the top of my head. Got too much stuff going on. Maybe I had too much whiskey. Nah. We'll play a role-playing game based on the opening chapters of the book. What's the time difference? I forgot. There's a big time difference. Yes. Yep. It's going to be fun. We got a little taste of it. And I think he added some stuff to it and did some fine tuning. So there'll be some stuff we don't even know is coming. So it'll be awesome. I'm so bad with time zones. It's 11 p.m. Brussels time. Okay. We have the power of the internets. Let's see. 11 p.m. Brussels time and PST. 11 p.m. would be 2 p.m. PST, Pacific time. And that would be, I think, the day before, though. So, but on the 31st is when we're targeting for it to go, right? So 11, and then it would roll into it'd be the same day. It'd be the same day, and then you would roll into the next day, actually, if we go past an hour. Yeah, that's right. So on the 31st, 11 p.m. Brussels time, Belgium, or 2 p.m. Pacific time, which would be 4 p.m. Central, and then 5 p.m. Eastern, if I got that right. Right? And then 3 p.m. Mountain. Depends. Yeah, so if it's 2 p.m. here, add 3. So 2, 3, 4, 5 actually, right? 5. I think I did the math wrong. Yeah, it'd be 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock EST. I did the math wrong. ask about the characters of Shadow Savior that someone asked in the comments. Okay. It is mentioned but not exaggerated. It is a hidden gem for those who are extra careful when read. Ooh. I'm heading to bed. Hopefully catch you later. Definitely checking the book out. Well, thank you there, Shelf Love. Appreciate you coming by. So for me, oh man, Kim, you're in Australia. The first of, yeah, right. Yep. You time travel, so you're definitely the next day in the next month. Yeah, 1st of February. Yeah, not December. You don't go back in time, you go forward in time. Yeah. Although if you could go back in time, just saying, there's a couple of things I'm going to need you to do. We're both going to get rich. I'm just saying. Disc Golf Show. How's it going, buddy? You missed the whole thing. You joined too late. Unless you're just rejoining. I do that sometimes when I'm like scrolling in chat and I accidentally flip to another channel, like, and then I got to flip back and it says you join again. Because I have like fat thumbs. Sorry, bud. Well, you better be sorry. You know what that means? You know what that means, Disc Golf Show? Nothing, you just missed it. It'll be up later on the tubes of you, though, so you can see it afterwards. So since you missed it this time, it's okay. It'll be up, so you can watch it later. I was inspired by that idea. He can't escape his fate. Oh, I missed something. What did I miss? Oh, but whenever Shadow blinks, he always sees Save Charlotte. Yeah. I was inspired by that idea, that he can't escape his fate. I miss my Justino. Well, I miss you too, Nick. No, the premise is like immediately like grabs you. I like it. And the other character is inspired by a devastated magic world somehow. The character limitations of TikTok. We get a piece by piece. It's like the story is being told. He's keeping us in dramatic suspense. Dude, it's killing me. Yeah. I know, you can't just like type it all out. It'll block it. It's like when I do the book thing and the author thing, when I program it in, the maximum amount of characters you can have, which is probably the same amount in the chat, is 127 characters. So, hey, Brit. How's it going? Brit, the #1 TikToker with the amount of Legos that make me jealous. I'm just saying. I'm going to bring that up like every time I see it because it still hurts my soul. She has all the Lego sets I want. Like all of them. She has some stuff I didn't even know I wanted until I saw them. I'm like, oh, that's cool too. I'm just saying. I know. I'm beating the horse. But I'm still jealous. Your fan club has completed the first stage of the club quest. Club Cheers has been unlocked for all fans to send and celebrate. I have no idea what that means, but booyah! We got there together, and that's the point. No, this was good, Daniel. So, game plan is, like always, after we do our Whiskey Wednesday read, I will polish these all up, probably on the weekend, and then I'll get them to you. And then you can use them for whatever you want. If you want to use them for social media to hype up your book when it releases, or if it's already released, kind of an extra promo thing to promote it. Hey, this is out there. Take a look. Or delete it. Your choice. It's yours. That's the point. So thank you again for being brave enough to volunteer your chapter for Whiskey Wednesday here, because you never know. I could butcher it. Just saying. Although it was fun. I like playing that, and hopefully I gave it that sense of kind of being disembodied and being unsure. I love that whole feeling and vibe that it's giving of this entity, the shadow. But good stuff, man. Good stuff. Butcher it. Justin, I'd love to chat VA VO sometime. Absolutely. It'd be fun. Just let me know. You do audiobook and VO stuff too as well? I know you do book talk stuff, indie finds. Are you also a narrator or VO, or you just want to talk about it like in general? Either way, totally down. Totally by smashing it. Well, I have one person in my fan club, that's for sure. Well, it makes it easy when the writing is good. Aw, throwing it back into your direction. No, it's good. I like it. I definitely like it. I'm starting. Okay, cool. I've acted for 15 years, theater and musical theater. Well, you have a leg up. You definitely have a leg up. Hey, this is random, unexpected here. But I want to get into VA. Yeah, so, I mean, honestly, like the advice that normally I give to like people that are starting up is go out to first start on narratorsroadmap.com and look at the resources that Karen Cummings has set up there. There's a ton of stuff on narration and VA, including like lists of like coaches you could get for anything that you'd want to do in the realm. Like if you want to do audiobooks or anime or video games or whatever, there's usually a coach, a reputable coach. That's important. Lots of scams out there that can kind of, you can select and see who you gel and vibe with. And then if you want to go down the audiobook route, there's things that you can do. Sean Pratt put out a really cool YouTube video that kind of breaks down the whole process of if you want to be an audiobook narrator, cool. What you do is start by sitting down every day. It could be in your closet or anywhere. You don't even have to record if you don't want to, but try to record yourself and read a book. Doesn't matter. Pick a book off your shelf, open it up, read it. Spend 2 hours reading it and do it like you would do an audiobook. Every time you mess up, go back and say it again until you get it right. Then, if you can do that for 2 hours for a week, every day, you're good. 2 hours of finished audio. So that probably will take you 4, because about double to get the finished audio. So if you can do that 4 hours every day, but start with 2, ease into it. You got to build the vocal stamina. Then you're good. If you still like yourself and you still want to read books, then you're good. You're set. You just do it then. Jump into it. Sweet. I made my Voice 123 page already. Okay, cool. But I will for sure check them out. Yeah, I'm a musician. So, hey, fellow musician, high five. Daniel Georgiev is also a musician. A very talented musician as well. You're in a good group here with fellow creatives. I have all of the equipment and such. Perfect. That gives you another leg up too. I had that kind of advantage as well. Like I had a little bit of musical stuff and then I had this whole failed company thing. So I had a whole bunch of recording equipment so I could just kind of jump into it. So you got the head start. You know about the equipment probably. So you're set there. Now you just got to find a good space and what you want to do. There's so much stuff out there that you could do and jump into stuff. If you want to do more voice acting side, check out, I don't even know if I can say this, but screw it. castingcall.club. They or castingcallclub.cc. One or the other. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've been there, but they have a ton of projects that are like usually fan based they have paid projects on there too, but start with the free ones, audio dramas, stuff like that are in there that you can do voice lines for, get the feel of it, like auditioning and getting rejected 8 billion times. That's a thing that will always be constant. And then you can see if you like that type of work too. That'll kind of give you a head start into that kind of thing. Sometimes they have anime dub projects on there and things. Just kind of look through there, build yourself an account on there. And then when you feel ready, jump into the places like Voices 123 and things like that. Rejection, I felt. yeah, it's just, that's part of the game. And some people have a problem with that. And if you have a problem with rejection, this is definitely not for you, because 99% of the projects you audition for, you will get rejected for. It's that 1%, that 2% you pick up because you're persistent that you get. So just be used to that. You're going to get rejected a lot. Just, it's nothing personal. You're just going to get rejected. It could be anything. It's like I was in a workshop earlier and one guy was saying that it could be that the casting director hears your voice and it reminds them of an ex they had and they can't stand that ex. So you're never going to get that job because you remind them. You can't help that. That's just your voice, right? Is what it is. And you move on, right? The point being, you're going to get rejected for any multitude of reasons. But eventually, with persistence, maybe some training here or there, and always constantly improving yourself, you'll get there and you'll pick up those jobs. So just be used to it. Trust, being an actress for this long, I'm already used to it. Brush it off. Yeah, you have the advantage of being from like musical theater and stuff. So you know the game probably better than I do. You just tell me to shush. The only thing you'll probably have to get used to is when you're acting, you're not projecting. You'll have to, that might be a little bit of an adjustment. I've heard that with some people that are used to like stage acting, like Broadway musical theater. They're used to like putting it out there, and you don't have to because your proximity is very close. So you have to like pull back a little bit. A really great coach, if you want to get into the acting side of, specifically like audiobooks, is Joel Frumpkin. His course is a little expensive, but save up for it. Worth every penny. Worth absolutely every penny. He's one of the best that can break down all of the concepts into ways that are easy to understand. And he comes from that musical theater, Broadway, movie, all that kind of production. He comes from that. That's what his degree is in. And he used to teach at some, I don't know, university or something for acting. So I haven't taken it yet. I am saving up for it myself because I want to take it bad. But he's like, anybody that's gone through that course will tell you. Joel Frumpkin. If that's the way you want to go. That's super neat. Yeah. I started with Sean Pratt, who is like the master of nonfiction, but he covers all the business side and the stuff that's not that. So, yeah, there you go. A little bit of shop talk for you at the end here of Whiskey Wednesday, but I always like trying to jump in and help out if I can. But yeah, let's, we'll talk. We'll find a venue. Let me know. Yeah. I can talk to you for hours about it probably. So any narrator of VA probably could talk to you for hours about it. So, just let me know. We'll set something up. We'll talk. But that's it. That's it for Whiskey Wednesday. Next Whiskey Wednesday, who do we have? Ooh. Carrie Sabretooth. Are you here? Veil Fracture official. And the book is going to be Defenders Veil Fracture, if I wrote that down correctly. And the genre, I didn't put it down, but it's going to be good. I've checked my email again. Forgot to put it in there. So that'll be next Wednesday, the 4th of February that we get into. So that'll be next time, 6 p.m. PST as always. And we'll probably jump into Scotch C for the whiskey. Something. So that'll be cool. Another TikTok actual indie author. So perfect. Justin, check out the comments I wrote above about Angel. Okay. Okay. I'll have to scroll. Good point because of the mic. Yep. I know I love the tiz. I've been acting since I was trust. Yeah. It's so real. High fives here, massively. Holding equipment and such. So maybe what? So maybe not a coincidence. I got her in here. What? Angel's in the process of recording a sample for Claire from Suncatchers. Oh, okay. Look, I missed that comment. Thank you for letting me know. It's way up there. I was yapping. And I was trying to scroll, and I was trying to be real careful because I've done this thing where I've accidentally invited somebody up, and I'm like, oh, that's not what I meant to do. And then it's all awkward for a couple seconds. None of us know what to do with our hands. But I have fat thumbs, and I have to be careful. But yeah, cool. Awesome. I'm super excited to hear that. Suncatchers is really good. Are you thinking about going duet or dual or multicast with Suncatchers? If you were going to do an audiobook for it? Or are you thinking about just doing... Yeah, because you could go either way. Probably, I would think dual because of the POV chapters, right? Just you and a female voice for Claire. Okay, so like doing dual then. So like the male POVs would be me, and then female POVs would be maybe Angel here.
Okay, yeah. No, that's a good idea. There's a lot of I've seen a lot of shift kind of towards that. Obviously, like more in like the romance kind of genre, you see it a lot more. But I've seen other genres start dipping into that dual and duet space and multicast space even. So I think listeners, readers are really like responding to that and they like it. So yeah, no, I say go for it. Put it out there. I think most things are kind of going that way, really. Um, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I think it's always something to kind of look into and experiment with. I love duel and romance, so it's so good, and immersive reads are my fave. Yeah, yeah. We need the skill to match, so I really hope this works. Angel has a nice voice that fits Claire. Oh, I'm sure. She got 15 years of acting experience. I think you're probably fine, but just getting vocal technique down. Anybody can learn that. Heck, that's why I'm here, right? For sure. But no, that'd be really cool. Awesome. Glad you're moving in that direction. Okay, so right after this, I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to get some water in me after the whiskey that we just had. Probably finish my coffee, too, to be honest. Mix the diuretics with water. Get some food, and then I'll be back, and we'll be narrating more, finishing off the chapter that we actually left off before we jumped into here, of The Chosen One, the prequel trilogy to the Wanderer series. So if you like that supernatural vibe, the what's the genre actually called? Paranormal vibe, right? With angels and demons and vampires and succubi and all that kind of stuff. Tune in just a little bit, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes. I'll be back, and we'll be narrating some more. And we'll pick up where we left off with our ancient 1,200-year-old Irish vampire and his girlfriend, the Nephilim. She has wings. It's pretty cool. Anyways, I'll see you all there. Thank you for joining me for Whiskey Wednesday tonight. Catch next Whiskey Wednesday, same time, 6 p.m. PST. Thanks, Daniel, again for volunteering your chapters here for Whiskey Wednesday. I appreciate it. Fantastic, as always. Get some sleep, buddy. Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. there, right? Almost 4 a.m. now. Get some sleep, buddy. All right. I'll catch you all later. Have a good night. I'll see you here in a little bit, maybe. And if not, I'll catch you next time. See you, everybody. Bye-bye.